no pun intended, but had a kick behind it. It just didn't seem like the McGregor like we've seen in other press conferences when he's done the UFC. That's like, okay, like I'm actually going to knock you out. It may be that, hey, boxing's fixed. Again, I'm not claiming it to be, but there's always that speculation with, and especially going back to the Pacquiao fight a couple weeks ago, that hey, how is it rigged that the Australian wins in Australia and whatnot. And there's a lot of problems there in boxing, and that's maybe one of the reasons why boxing is dying. And so this is maybe why this event's being held, to generate some interest back in boxing again. Yes, you have some stars here and there, but I mean, this fight's going to be probably the most marketed fight of all time when it comes down to it, even more so than Pacquiao and Mayweather. When it comes down to it, it's not McGregor's sport, and he didn't have nothing in the press conference showed me that, look, he's going to come and knock him out. And let's say that he does. Let's say that McGregor knocks out Mayweather. You know what that does to the sport of boxing? It dies. Right there. On the platform, it dies. Because you bring a guy in that this is his very first boxing match, professional boxing match on this type of stage. It's a glorified exhibition, but it's still a fight regardless. And if he knocks out Mayweather, he's old, but he still knows how to fight. And you knock out the greatest boxer in your sport, arguably, that just kills the sport. If a guy can come in, in a couple months train to the best of his ability in only a short amount of time and knock out a guy who's done this for his entire life, then really, UFC has all the power when it comes to hand-to-hand combat sports. That's just my opinion. I think at the end, Mayweather is going to win this fight handily. It's not going to be close. Tommy, any other comments on this?
Yeah, basically, what you said is true. Boxing will die if McGregor actually does win. So there's a lot riding on Mayweather's shoulders. But the other thing, though, is that Mayweather is right now facing a tax evasion, and that's on his mind. And McGregor decided to try and go for that. But, Mayweather comes back and says, you haven't had a 9-figure payout, and he holds up a $100 million check saying, you're never going to get this. You're not going to have this. And it's true. Mayweather is 49-0 because he is technical. He knows how to play chess. He doesn't know how to read, but he knows how to play chess. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good match. But overall, I see Mayweather dominating it and controlling the whole situation. And I feel like if there is going to be a knockout, this would be the perfect situation for it. And so go Mayweather.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a great fight regardless. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I think I may go to a bar like you, Tommy, and go watch it. Because I don't feel like paying $99 for HD, and we'll just rather pay a $20 cover to see this instead. But I just think Mayweather is just going to the better. Obviously, it just seems like there isn't anything for me that shows right now McGregor has an upper hand in any of this. It's just going to glorified fight, yes, but I think at the end of the day, McGregor is going to go down pretty easily within a couple rounds. One more topic before we go to the break here. Just some quick soccer news. James Rodriguez, a player who Real Madrid coveted after the 2014 World Cup, won the Golden Boot in Brazil in the last World Cup. He transfers to Real Madrid, plays over 110 games for Real Madrid and over the course of 3 seasons. But over the last couple of years under head coach Zinedine Zidane, didn't get a lot of playing time, had other players ahead of him, Marco Asensio, Isco, and it just seemed like James did not seem to be the right fit for Real Madrid, so he was definitely on his way out. And shocking news this morning, he gets transferred to German powerhouse Bayern Munich for a 2-year loan of $5 million per year with a $35 million buyout on a permanent transfer if that's what they wish to do. With that, James brings in a lot of talent. I think that he's a great player. It's just that the way he plays, it seems a little bit outdated, where he's just, he plays that number 10 position, and it just doesn't seem like it's a position that is really necessarily required that much in soccer anymore. So he has to learn to play as a team. Again, the individuality, yes, is important, and it was important on the teams that he came up in, but for his position, he needs to, I think that the biggest thing for him is to understand that he needs to play defense. He needs to learn to come back. And but if he gets that part of his game, he's still young. He's 25 years old. And ironically, tomorrow's his birthday. And it's funny, tomorrow's his birthday. So that's actually, it's a fresh start for on a new, turning 26 tomorrow. So I think for him, it's going to be a great opportunity for him to play with a club who, again, has dominated the Bundesliga, the German league, for the last couple of years. So I think the Bundesliga should be in favor of Bayern Munich again. It's just a goal every single season for a club of that stature. Can they get over the hump and win the Champions League? And they've always had issues the last couple of years, whether it's losing to Real Madrid this past season or Atletico Madrid the last couple of seasons. It's just, again, adding another key component and adding another offensive power in James Rodriguez. With that, another player had to go out with that, and so Douglas Costa from Bayern Munich transfers over to Juventus on a one-year loan transfer with a $40 million buyout at the end of the season. So, and Juventus spends a lot of money, so they're looking to come back after finishing runner-up to Real Madrid, losing 4-1 in the Champions League final. So both of these moves, I think, are pretty good for both clubs. I think Douglas Costa brings a lot of energy, a lot of pace to a club that understands who they are as a unit. They do play as a team, so if Douglas Costa can learn to blend in with that in that environment, I think he'll play phenomenally. So overall, I give both of these teams, I'd say I give them a B+ right now in terms of what they were able to do in the transfer market. And then, we'll see what comes out of it. I'll give them an A if they can get either to the final of the Champions League, because both of these teams are going to win their respective domestic leagues. That's not going to be a problem, and win probably their domestic cups. So in order for them to really be a great team in Europe, it's about winning the treble, which is their domestic league and domestic cup, and of course the Champions League, which is the biggest prize in all of soccer other than the World Cup. So those are my thoughts there. Tommy, any thoughts on your soccer knowledge? We know you would like to play FIFA, but he's excited. Tommy's face lit up when I mentioned if you had any thoughts.
Vamos USA! Vamos USA! Jugar football!
And that is Tommy's hot take for you on soccer. Yes, USA plays tomorrow. They play against Martinique. You can catch them live on FS1 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Right now, they did first game they did tie Panama 1-1, but they do play Martinique, who right now, as of this very moment, is the leader of Group A with 3 points after defeating Nicaragua 2-0 on Saturday. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we got our final topics of the day. Tommy, what do you have for your final topic?
I'm going to be talking about my weekend. Baltimore Orioles versus Chicago Cubs down in Bmore.
Nice. There we go. We got a good topic there. My final topic is, if I'm going to be honest, it's pretty bad. I found this hashtag a couple days ago, and I know that we keep it such a PG show, but I couldn't resist. And I always do the Sam Stone hashtags of the week. Ruin sex in 3 words. This is going to be one of the best hashtags we've ever done on this podcast. So I'm excited to do that. Tommy's weekend and my wiener. We got a lot of things to talk about. Just kidding, not really my wiener. Yeah. So here we got some more music. Here is Overflowing. Michael Woods. Saw him live a couple years ago on my birthday. It was awesome. Here is Overflowing on the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Stone with Tom Crane on Spreaker Radio.
Lost
And welcome back to the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Cerrone and Tom Crane. Coming to you live from Portland, Oregon and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's about 5:31 on the West Coast, 8:31 on the East Coast. Typically, we always talk about who on live on the podcast, who's going to go first, but it's pretty obvious that Tommy has a more fun and more intimate subject to talk about. So I'm going to go first, just because as someone who really enjoys hashtags and enjoys dirty hashtags as much as anybody, it's going to be a great one. But before that, I must warn anyone under the age of 13, this is not suitable for you, so my PSA is to turn this podcast off at this point. Thank you for listening. So,
Turn it back on.
Without further ado, we have the best hashtag to date, Sam Cerrone's hashtag of the week. I love Twitter, Tommy. I don't know about you. I don't know how much you get on Twitter, but I love it because, number one, you get the news pretty quickly, whether it be sports, politics, whatever, pretty fast. But number two, you just have a lot of people just posting ridiculous things, right? And so this week's trending hashtag is ruined sex in 3 words. Very simple, very straightforward. So, number one, starting out with the good one, which hole again? Oh my god. Fidget spinner butt plug, which there's actually a picture. It's just of the plug itself, by the way, not anything else. Just the. It's pretty. Yeah.
I feel a little dirty right now.
Yeah. Your brother's bigger. As someone who has a brother, and Tommy, obviously you have a brother that's not. That's a little weird. Yeah. Let's see. The condom broke. That's always the classic.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Pee on me. Teach their own.